Now for Jorge Masvidal, the
Hmm.
loser of this matchup, this is 3 losses in a row now, Dominic. What do you think could be next for him?
That you want to talk about a tough question. I think it's that right there. He just signs this new lucrative deal. He's one of the top five highest paid fighters in the
Makes him
MMA.
the. I just love how each week it's like when Israel signed, he was the second highest paid fighter in the
Yeah,
UFC, and now Jorge Masvidal is the third highest paid fighter in the
yeah,
UFC. I'm like, where are you guys getting these numbers from? Is this just an assumption? I don't know.
I know, right? But you can look at it from one side of the spectrum and say, okay, he's lost three in a row, but it was twice to Kamaru and then Colby, the two best guys in the division. So you have that sentiment, but then it's also like, but what has he showed in general in those two fights outside of maybe a moment or two? Like in the first Kamaru fight, he landed some good body kicks, made him a little bit scared. Second fight, he got knocked out. Colby, he gets dominated for 5 rounds outside of 1 minute in the fourth. So, and he's so big that he's not just going to fight other contenders and like work his way to a title fight. Like I don't envision a world where we see that from Jorge Masvidal. So when you ask me what's next for him, no, I don't know if I even have a genuine answer for you if I'm being honest.
Now's the only time this fight will ever make sense. It's
Uh,
time for the Conor McGregor fight.
I saw Damon Martin tweet that and I can't say I hated it. I'm
It's
going to be honest.
time for the Conor McGregor fight. I understand I was not big on that fight ever happening. I felt Jorge
Yeah.
was just way too big for Conor. Um, just maybe too powerful. Just it was just a big difference in what the opponents Connor's fought up to that point.
Yeah.
But now you have a guy on a 3 fight losing streak who's still a big star in Jorge Masvidal. And then you have Connor who's lost back to back fights, but he looks huge right now
He's
in
very
his
big.
in his coming off of his leg injury that he's trying to heal up and get ready to fight again. I remember we had someone comment on one of our videos saying that they didn't think that he's ever going to be able to fight at lightweight again, and I don't think that that's. I'm not necessarily going that extreme.
Hmm.
I do think there's a really good chance that his comeback fight's going to be at welterweight, just because I think he's going to be really. I mean, he looks huge as of
Yeah, I
late.
could see that for sure.
So now's the time. If there's ever been a time, now's the time for Conor Jorge. And it's going to be kind of weird because both guys aren't exactly in the best places in their
Yeah.
professional careers. But to me, that's the still the biggest fight that can be made in the entire company. And like now would be the only appropriate time to do it. There's nothing Jorge has left to do. Connor, yes, has like a Nate Diaz trilogy. There's potential for a Max Holloway rematch and all this stuff, a Tony Ferguson fight or a
Yeah.
fourth Dustin fight, whatever. But especially if Nate and Dustin fight, that's going to leave Connor perhaps. I think he's not coming back till the fall at the earliest. I mean, everybody's been
Hmm.
talking about July and stuff. I know he said that, but it's just not. No,
Yeah.
it's one thing to have your body ready, but then to try to get a Conor McGregor fight negotiated and work through all the
Yeah.
details. I mean, it's like a, I mean, that's a marathon in itself. So
Yeah.
I think him and Jorge would make a lot of sense to headline that Madison Square Garden card to end the year in November. I think that's that. You get the a little bit of like Connor 2016 when he went in the first show at Madison Square Garden, knocked out Eddie Alvarez for the second belt. Here he is 5 years later, or 6 years later, I guess at
Yeah.
that point,
Six.
headlining with Jorge Masvidal. Be a huge fight.
Yeah, I can't say it doesn't make sense. And at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about when guys do essentially get to this level. There's only so much you can do with them. You know what I mean? And Jorge has, again, he's not on Connor's level because no one's on Connor's level, but he's as close as you can be to it. Therefore, you don't fight contenders. You don't go fight Wonderboy Thompson and Bilal Muhammad and all these guys. He's too big for those types of fights. That's why this one with Colby did make sense because Colby was at least closer to him in status. But now, there's no one else for him. So I take some time off. I agree with you. I think I never thought I'd say it, but Jorge Masvidal, Conor McGregor looks as realistic as ever, and I think that would obviously draw plenty of eyeballs to the UFC. So we'll see what happens, man. It's a weird spot to be in for both guys. even more so for Jorge Masvidal.
Let's talk.